Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome to D&D with R&D. I am not R&D. I am Christy, but we are now moving over to Tuesday night D&D from YouTube to Twitch. So hello and welcome to everyone.
On
I
a
guess
Wednesday.
on a Wednesday.
On
Since
a
we have some
Wednesday.
new people, should we maybe go around and introduce ourselves
Sure.
before?
Do we want to rename the stream from Crick Disa on Savage?
Oh yeah. Can I do
Yeah,
that
we'll do
live?
that.
Yeah, that sounds like a
You
good
can do
idea.
that. You can do that live. Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Oh,
and
I am gonna go ahead and warn y'all. I have a new fidget toy, so if you hear popping, that's because I'm
you need to
playing with
mute
it right
yourself
now.
then. Can
Yeah,
anyone
I'll
else
mute
change it?
myself.
Because I've actually all my screens are currently busy.
I don't have access. I've never actually.
Okay, we'll
tried
sort it out.
either.
We'll sort it out. It'll be fine.
But yes, we can introduce people because this is technically our second time here. Ah, hi Hobbs. Sorry, someone decided to join us.
That's a big. It's a
He's
big boy.
My big boy decided to join us today.
That's the big boy.
Oh.
Oh, you're so big. Where's the little boy at? Who knows? But yes, hi, I'm Redigan Discourse. I'm the DM for tonight. I do things on the internets. That's me.
Brilliant.
I'm good at this. We also have with us players who can describe
That's
their
us.
characters and who they are. I'm
Oh,
I'm gonna just call people out because reasons. Yes.
By the way, what are we calling this? Because we're not in the Underdark anymore.
We're not in the Underdark anymore.
Last-
It's true.
last
Yeah, we're not in the
ditch
Underdark.
efforts.
Into space.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you can do.
Into the overspace. There we go.
Are we
Into
Ink?
Wild Space is
Oh,
technically where we are.
Are we Wink or sorry? Are we Ink or PLC or we are?
We
we
are
are-
last
I
We are
ditch
believe
effort.
I believe
TLD. We're limited, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
We were limited. We
Yeah.
were limited. Yeah,
Last
Okay.
ditch effort. Limited.
limited.
All
Yes.
right, that's our new title.
That's
Super limited.
yeah. That's well. I mean, that's the name of the company, I guess. So yeah, that's the name of the party. So
I'll just call this 01. And then we're
It is the name
Sure.
of the party. It's our name.
Yeah.
Party time. But yes, this is, I guess, Last Ditch Effort. This is the crew of Last Ditch Effort. I think this is the first time that Jess has found out that he's part of the Last Ditch Effort group. Because
Yeah,
he
we
was
came
not
up
here to
with
come
a
up with the
group name.
name.
We came up with the name without you.
Yes, months and months ago. But currently, we are more or less running Spelljammer in 5e. If anybody knows what Spelljammer is,
Yeah.
Because the world is ending.
Yes, because the world is ending. But Spelljammer is a setting from a D&D, which is just D&D in space, and it's one of my favorite settings. It's the first time that I played D&D with Spelljammer, so I wanted to run it in 5e. How well that's going to work, who knows? But we'll find out. And with us today, we do have, we'll start with Jess, I guess, since he's the top one there.
Emma.
Yeah.
Well, hi. I'm Jess SD Fisher. I'm a Twitch streamer now. As of this month again, after like a 6-year break. And that's it. I don't do anything else.
All right. What are you playing? What are you doing?
Oh yes, I'm playing a goblin, but I can't remember the voice that I do for that character right now.
It'll come to you. A goblin named Scraggs.
Drags. He was horrible.
He is horrible and has, because of his actions, has caused the end of the world to show up in like 2 weeks.
yes.
We also have Christy Winters.
Hey, yes, I am Christy, and I am playing Preet, who is a Verdan. When the party met Preet, Preet was female, but about 2 levels ago, Preet, when Verdan changed, they can also change their genders, and so now Preet's a dude, and a bard, and a very bardy bard at that.
Very
That's
But
pretty-
always attractive.
But always,
Mhm.
yes, or trying to be, or caring sometimes.
No, 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 no. They are attractive in canon.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
We'll go to the actual person that we have found out is ridiculously hot and gets hit on by 16-year-olds. Awkward Pasta.
Yeah, hi. I'm Awkward Pasta or Pasta. I mainly do art online and in real life, kind of. And I play Etsley. She is a rogue Yanti. And apparently she's super duper sexy in canon, apparently.
Everyone's sexy.
Well, play what you know.
And that leaves us with Micro.
Well, I am microblogganism. I do things on the internet, or at least I used to do. I've probably start doing them again at some point. I'm playing Horatio, who's an awakened necromancer wizard goldfish being carried around by a skeleton called Trevor.
No,
And I
not-
currently have a giant zombie hamster.
Yes. Yes, you do have a giant
Spam.
hamster. So yeah, we can traditionally Micro gives us the rundown of what we did last time. Oh, we're also missing a player, which is
Yes.
Christiosity. She plays Felix, the deep gnome fighter / artificer.
Yeah.
And so she is unavailable today. I'm sure that Felix will be preoccupied doing stuff while the team is out in space. But yes,
So-
traditionally we let Micro kind of
So-
let us give us a roundup of what we did last time.
Last time, on the moon, quite literally,
Mhm.
we found a ship willing to take us out further out towards the wall of our little bubble, our little solar system bubble. And on the way out there, we came across a big gnome ship that had been that seemingly drifted, like it was basically a ghost ship. There was seemingly no one on it. We went on board the ship and found that it had been infested by various oozes. We also discovered that they had giant space hamsters, and we currently have a Felix is currently on some kind of like binge eating of space hamster meat.
Yeah.
Because gnomes really like it.
And Felix has never tasted giant space
Yeah.
hamster meat before because she's from the Underdark. And
So like it's like someone who just turned 21 suddenly just down
No,
pure
no,
alcohol.
it's like so.
no,
No,
it's not
no,
like that. She's an addict now.
no. I
it's
know
not
what
even
it's like.
that.
No, it's like the
Mm.
first time, like an adult who had actually experienced bacon for the first time.
Yes.
That's
Or
what
the-
it is.
or-
That.
To put it to more on other
Bacon.
terms, that
Bacon with
maybe
cocaine.
pasta might realize it's like the first time that you ate carne asada. It's like- yeah.
Yes.
It's not now that's like all you order.
Carne asada. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see?
no,
There
okay,
it
no.
is.
Having just recently tasted that for the first time, no, that is extraordinarily good.
Yep.
Well, that's what giant hamster meat
Yeah.
tastes like. From now
So
on.
in Canada now, giant hamster meat tastes like carne asada.
Oh my gosh.
Even if it's not seasoned, it
Even
just
if it's not
tastes
seasoned,
like it
just tastes
naturally.
like- yes, it is. It is naturally marinated. This is how it is.
I'm gonna get carne
Also,
asada tomorrow.
The ending of what happened last time was Edsley killing a giant space hamster as a punchline to a joke, which upset her girlfriend a little, and also is how Horatio got a hold of his giant zombie space hamster.
Yep. And along with the team, they do have Claire, who is a sorcerer. She's a clockwork sorcerer. I forget what she's
Yeah,
clockwork soul sorcerer. She's from the Unearthed Arcana clockwork sorcerer, so her skills are quite a bit different than the Tasha's. But
Oh, so she's OP.
she's OP. Yes. But who is Edsley's girlfriend? And Blue, who is
Used to be a bad guy.
yes, Claire used to be a bad guy. And Blue, who has been sent here by a time god to help out the team.
Because
And he is a Tabaxi monk.
because the reason the world is ending is because of time.
Yes, time is running out.
Yes.
All right. So, with all of that said, you all are on the gnome ship. Let's take you all back there. And I believe you guys were on the last bottom floor after destroying a bunch of. Actually, I think some of you are on the next floor up. Destroying
we started going back up.
a bunch of slimes, and there's now a giant hole on the floor from trying to push the slimes out, which was relatively successful.
We
There we
made a
go.
lava lamp.
Yeah. And so people, I believe, nope. I believe Felix is over here, and with Buttercup, and everyone else is kind of making their way up. So, what do y'all want to do now that you've cleared out this ship?
Did we check all the rooms?
Mm,
I don't.
yes,
we
you
didn't-
found stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Well,
like, I meant,
Scrags
like-
found stuff.
Yeah, Scrags found stuff. I think Scrags kind of gave people stuff that he found in all the rooms.
It was more if we should check that, like.
No, we all searched the boxes together.
Yeah, maybe not this room. You guys might have skipped
Yeah,
out.
I
we
gotta-
We searched.
I'm talking about the bottom room where all the crates were.
Yes.
Yeah.
We searched
Yeah.
that, and because I found a bunch of needles that were like made of platinum and I have a lot of money, but everybody rolled on the table. I remember.
Yeah.
that.
Oh
Yeah, you all got cool loot from this,
Yeah.
along with.
I have
There's
3
just-
skull scrolls that still need
Yeah.
to be.
Oh, I gotta randomize those for people.
And I got a
but
jar of trippy ooze.
Trippy ooze. Oh yes, you got the
Jar
trippy
of
ooze.
trippy
The
ooze.
yeah.
purple ooze.
I got a potion of invisibility.
No, I just collected that. That
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
you just have a jar of purple ooze
Oh.
that you.
A
picked
jar
up
of dirt.
And I have possible magic beans.
Mhm. Yep. But no, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you guys really explored this
We should
section.
we should probably check that there aren't survivors hiding in the closet somewhere.
Or any
Why?
enemies.
Why?
They might have information on
Yes.
where they
Yeah.
were going or
Oh.
where we
Or
need
where
to go.
everyone else
how
went.
there were suddenly giant
Yeah.
oozes on board their ship.
Yeah, that would also be helpful. Extremely.
Hmm.
I also
just
want to
kinda-
point out that I don't think oozes would sabotage a ship and break its only mechanism for moving.
Are you saying this is our ship now?
Well, it can be our ship,
I
but
I like the way
but
you
I'm
think.
saying that I'm
hold on.
smelling
I
sabotage.
like the way you think, lady.
I don't think we can just commandeer this ship. Besides,
Who's gonna say it's theirs? They're all dead. They got eaten by oozes.
well,
Well,
the
supposedly.
owner of the ship might not have been on it.
Or there might have been records, logs, captain's
Yeah.
logs.
Mhm.
I mean, someone is presumably expecting to get the cargo.
What if we? Now, hear me out here. What if we threw the records into space?
Well, can we read them and then throw them
Okay,
into
let's
space?
start out by making sure we don't have any survivors.
And if we do, don't you
How-
worry. I'll
how
take
about-
care of it.
How about this?
No.
How about this? A couple of us go up and search the
The records.
what's it called?
The logs.
Yeah, the room
Bridge?
where the captain
The
always
helm.
in, like the helm.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
For
go check the
Space
helm
Jammer, it's
for
a helm. Yes.
yeah. Let's go check the helm
Well,
for any
the helm
records,
is, like,
and the rest
the
of us
actual
can
control.
search for survivors.
Right.
The
All
bridge.
right,
Isn't it called the bridge?
I'm gonna have.
And
The
with
bridge
that,
is the
I'm
actual
just gonna
room,
start
the
walking
helm
up
is
the
Yeah.
stairs.
The room is
steering
the
wheel.
bridge. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry about that. Yes, where the
Yeah.
helm is.
We'll go to the bridge.
As you all are discussing this, Claire says, "Yeah, I'm gonna go check out this this area." Edson, why don't you go upstairs? I'll just stay down here. And she starts wandering into rooms to check them out.
It's he's gonna like flinch slightly, but go upstairs anyway.
I'm gonna take a look in the. I
Oh,
assume it's like the mess hall.
So what do we do? What do I do? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go upstairs.
oh,
No,
I'm
no,
gonna-
Wanna go to the helm? No.
No, go over the bridge. You stay down here and look for maybe they have food or other cool things down here.
Well, if he's telling me to stay down here, I'm going upstairs then.
All right, so we got Etzley and Scrags going upstairs.
and Preet.
And Preet. So you got 3 of you going upstairs. The 2 of you staying downstairs, which is going to end up being Horatio and Claire. Both of you can roll me an investigation, or Horatio. Well, there you go. I'll have Claire roll hers. She
26.
didn't do too bad. Okay, so we'll stick with this crew for a little bit. Horatio, you find all the beds look messy. Like they were recently slept in, and nobody really bothered to make them. Um, and at least I should say at least the bed's kind of in this big area. They look messy and as if nobody like bothered to make them. They were recently slept in. On a lot of them, um, on the like sheets and pillows and stuff, you find that they're kind of wet, like on the pillows, but in like a if when you touch them, it feels kind of slimy. Not like it was water, but like something slimy kind of fell there and hasn't quite dried up yet.
Damn.
And you see that kind of throughout this whole area, especially mostly in like the pillow kind of top of the sheet area. You know, this is where you see it all.
Is it in roughly the like place that a person sleeping would be in?
Yep.
Great. Someone was eaten in out of their bed by a goop.
It's a lot of these beds have that, so it's not a someone. It's a lot of these beds have this. So not just one person.
No one like hiding out in the closets or anything.
No,
like shit scared.
Not really. As you go through people's foot lockers and stuff, like they're full of nothing of any real value. Stuff that you would see workers and crewmen have. Pictures of loved ones, letters that they've been writing and haven't been able to mail yet. Board games, decks of cards, spare clothes, things like that, but nothing. No one seems to be carrying anything that would be valuable besides maybe a few pieces of gold here and there.
I don't take any of the gold I find. I just look through it.
Gold or space bucks?
Space bucks. I'm gonna have to get over myself over saying gold every time. Space gold.
Well, you also need a better name than space bucks.
Space bucks is a fine name.
So yeah, that's more or less what you find. Claire looks through the rooms that she's there. Most of them, so just so you know, these are the toilets because gnomes have toilets on their ship. This is like a nice little dining room. It seems very small, so it doesn't really give you the impression that it's a mess hall. The room over here gives you an impression that it's a mess hall. Like that's
so
where everyone eats. This is more for like small party meetings, which after Claire looks through the other rooms, she lets you know that the little rooms look like there's officer rooms. So captain kind of thing. Like that's where the captain lives. That's where the XO lives.
Okay.
So that they can have a little bit more privacy when they eat. She mostly, again, similar to everyone else, she does find a bit more valuable things. She leaves them, but she does find like more gold and things like that. But mostly pictures, books. She does find a log of like where the ship has been and where it's supposed to be going in the captain's chamber. So it has as its last destination the Lunara, which is where you all guys left, where you lost all the ship. So kind of maps onto that. And then its next destination is the next planet over, which if I remember right is called Kostia. So it's got a delivery in Kostia to make. And none of these, she tells you that the beds are made. Probably kind of makes sense because they make their beds like on like the workers. They probably do a little bit more taking care of. But also none of them have that like same kind of slimy wet thing.
Did all the beds have that in here?
No, not all of them, but you'd guess about a good roughly 50% of them.
Okay, so one shift probably.
Yeah, you'd be pretty good guess that one shift of them had them.
I see. Well, after I'm done looking down here, I'm gonna hit upstairs to see what the others have found.
All right, so we'll head upstairs to the others. All right, others. You two can give me an investigation roll.
Oak doke.
What's your investigation?
A +4. What's yours?
Mine is
There's
plus
3 of you, so
5.
So
-5 as well. If you'd like
Okay, so
to,
I'll give one of you advantage.
I'll give you a. Well, okay, all right.
16.
16. Okay. With a 16.
Oh. Do we get 2 rolls or?
No,
'Cause-
because you got advantage.
Yeah, you guys together.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were gonna check. Okay, never mind.
With all of you kind of rolling, sorry, not rolling, all investigating together. The biggest problem with the bridge is not finding things, is that a lot of it doesn't make sense. Like, this is a bridge of a spaceship. None of you know what half of these things do, what half of them mean. There's a table here with maps, star maps, and things like that. They are like, you can't fucking read this shit. Like, who knows where this stuff is supposed to go? It's got equations and things that kind of catch you off guard. So as far as that part is, you don't really know what most of this stuff is. But now that you kind of taken the time to investigate, you do find a couple more spots where that like purple jelly stuff is kind of slime stuff is kind of hanging around on the floor. You notice that on the chairs, on a couple of the chairs, there's like trails of it like sliding down the back of, like, not the back of the chair on like where someone would sit, like on the front side.
The purple mind stuff?
The purple mind stuff.
It seems as though this slime is some sort of controlling mechanism.
I want to go over to where the like control panel is destroyed and look around and see if it was destroyed by slimes or if it was a person.
Yeah, sure thing. You can roll an investigation if you.
I'll assist.
Thank you.
Ooh, look at that.
23.
Okay. All right. So this is really good. So you don't really know what half of these buttons do, but what you can tell from just looking and kind of wiggling the buttons and the levers, a lot of the damage seems to have happened from like things being corroded or stuck. And a few parts seem to be like forcefully pulled out, like as if somebody grabbed what you would guess is like an important component and just took it out.
Is there any other kind of slime like that I would recognize from the other?
No, not on the controls. No, doesn't seem to be really any slime here.
And on the chairs, there's the purple stuff on the chairs.
You said that something was removed?
Yeah, it looks like something was torn out.
So it wasn't taken out with precision. It was ripped out roughly?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks like cables are hanging and probably isn't something that should be removed.
All right, well, maybe can we take a look at where this is in the sort of dash here and try to describe it to the captain on our ship? Maybe they'll know what this missing piece was.
I mean, giving a status report to him is not a bad idea.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done. We can head back to the other ship now.
Yeah. I do think that we still should proceed with caution.
Yeah.
Because it looks like sabotage on this ship. And who knows where those people went.
Yeah. Or some sort of pirates with ooze.
That too. And that could be why the slimes are here, to throw people off their scent.
What if the slimes are like some kind of natural thing in space and they just landed on it?
Well,
that still wouldn't explain the damage to the hull.
Maybe they fell on a meteor.
What about the thing removed from the dashboard or from the controls?
Listen, I'm just making up shit here, lady. Sir.
Yeah.
Just theorizing.
You're in space. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe
Yeah.
the oozes were smart and we just didn't know it.
You didn't try to talk to them very
I
much.
mean,
No, mostly you killed them. All right, yeah, let's head
Yeah.
back to the ship.
it's a good idea to head back and
I think we need to talk
warn
to the
the captain
captain.
and let him know.
Yeah. Describe what we found.
All right. So what's your plan for? Are you gonna? They still have that like gangplank between the two ships, so you can go back and forth. Or are you gonna go over there to
Is
talk to them?
How long is it?
The ship?
No. How far is the between? Like, are the air bubbles connected? Can we just shout over there?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's yeah. You're boarding another ship. They're not touching because you don't want to hit it.
I think we
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
ask the captain to come over here so as to not alarm the entire crew.
I think that would alarm the crew on some note.
Well, what do people think?
Let's.
I don't really care.
I think maybe a couple of us should go back.
Let's
and
head
just tell
back
him real quick.
and explain the situation there. Could someone get Felix from the kitchen?
I'll go
Yeah, I'll
get
get Felix.
her. Between the two of us, we will go get her.
Okay.
Preet, after you.
All right. So
Okay.
Preet and Horatio are gonna head back to the ship, the other ship, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So Preet, Horatio, I'll put you here so that I don't forget what you two are doing, and Etsley and Scraggs, you all are going downstairs. What is your plan to get Felix on board with your idea?
Let's tell her that we have a shit ton of giant hamster on the other ship.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey Felix, we've
So
got
as you go down there, as you walk into the kitchen, Blue's down there. He didn't leave. He's just mostly keeping an eye on her. And as you come in, Felix just has her eyes are wide, and her as she's like scarfing down the last bit of hamster meat, like she's got like several bones just like laying there. She just ripped the like all that is left of the bone. She just like looks in you and says,
That's incredible.
"That was delicious. What do you want?"
We gotta
We-
go.
yeah, we gotta go.
No.
Listen,
Well-
Have you tried this stuff? No, you can't have mine.
we've got a whole bunch of hamsters back on
Yeah,
the other
we've
boat.
got
No,
more
we don't. I
hamster
was
meat
in
your
that
room.
ship. You are lying to me.
There were hamsters on this ship. We just brought them over.
Yeah, we brought some hamster meat and put them in your room.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we hid it, so you're gonna have to go find it.
All right, but
And you might want to lock your room too, because we might steal it from you.
one of you
I just-
can roll.
I just
deception
look
with
over-
advantage.
Yeah,
You go.
yeah.
I'm like, hold on, what's your deception?
My deception is a plus 14.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Cool.
Yes.
Go for it.
26.
Scraggs, you got anything to add to this great argument of Etsley's?
What do you mean? I told them to go over there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to be doing it better than plus 14.
No.
All right. So with that, oh yeah, no, she's definitely not beating that. It's like, no,
Yeah.
if she got a 20, she could have. But with that, she's not beating you. Okay. Come on, Buttercup, and so you have Buttercup and she just like bolts up the stair with Buttercups. Like she's not even waiting for you.
Etsley will wave Blue to like follow and
yeah.
come on. We're done on the ship
Blue does come over and say, "Why are you lying to your friend?"
because she's obviously heavily addicted to this meat, and she wouldn't leave
Oh,
otherwise.
Oh.
So
Yeah, it's
had to
really for
convince
our
her
own
somehow.
good.
you know, I once thought about tying up my friend Erasmus because he was addicted to fire. We had an intervention once, but that also involved like another god. It was a weird time. So I get it.
I would have tied him up.
That's
Oh,
nice.
we wanted to. We really did. He burned down a bridge.
mean-
Was while he was on it. Ugh.
Huh.
Sounds like a psycho.
Yeah. I would have
little
tied him
bit.
up too.
Mhm.
The joy of subtle casting.
All right. So, Felix runs past Preet and Horatio as she just runs straight into her room, to look for more hamster meat, which is probably where we'll find her for the rest of the session.
Yeah. Etsley has hidden that hamster meat so well, she just can't find it.
Yep. All right. So with that, Horatio and Preet, you find Captain Alderon kind of sitting over, waiting for you, standing at the other side of the gangplank. He steps aside to watch Felix just run past him with Buttercup, and then looks over at you and says, "What do you have to report?"
Perhaps we should go to the bridge where we can, for some questions we want to ask you as well as information we want to give.
Are there any survivors? Do they need medical attention?
No,
No.
I'm afraid not. We at the very least we did not find anyone, and we searched the ship fairly thoroughly. The only living creatures over there were things we had to deal with, and hamsters.
Yes, the gnomes, they like their hamsters.
Yes,
yeah,
we
they
have,
seem to really be into
We've
them.
become quite aware with our own gnome.
Oh, I bet you. Oh, she's never had it before, has she?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yes. I've seen very many gnomes have succumbed to the hamster meat. I hope she'll be okay.
Wow.
Succumbed. like it's crack.
Yeah.
It's carne asada. That's what it is.
It's hamster
It
crap.
might as well be crack if it's carne asada.
I'm telling you, ever since carne asada, like that's what all that Lauren eats at like Mexican restaurants.
Incredible.
But besides that, okay.
I mean, hamster is Spanish for crack.
Do you know if the ship is operational? Should I bring people to?
Potentially, there's quite a lot of damage, including some that we had to we caused. I'm having to defend ourselves against various oozes. But no, this appears to be damage to some of the panels on the bridge. None of us understand it, so I understand these vehicles very well. So we can't really say if there were, if they are, it would be operational.
Also, there is damage to a particular part of maybe the navigation. It seems to have been ripped out.
Yes. And the helm appears to be covered in purplish mind-altering goo.
Mind-altering goo.
Yes. When I touched it, well, more accurately, when Trevor here, the skeleton, touched it, the connection between him and me became a lot stronger. We were as one, so to speak.
Preet whips out his jar. He says, I got a sample.
Alderon reaches over and grabs the jar and looks at it at first with curiosity, and then as he inspects it more, his eyes widen in what appears to be just terror. And it's like, oh, I think we might be might be a bit over our heads here. I will. We should talk more. If the ship is safe, I will send my men over to start making sure the ship is ready to take off again. We need to take it back to the. We need to take it back to the guild from the gnomes.
Yeah, it's clear. We cleared the ship.
Very well. You all come with me to my to the captain's quarters. We'll have a bit more of a discussion. And with
Okay.
that, he sends out people to go over and like, you all go clean it up, make sure that everything's safe. They said there was some damage to it. Try to fix it the best you can. Just make sure it can fly. We'll get it. We'll get it over to Custia here as soon as we can. We gotta make it quick. We gotta get out of here as soon as we can. And you see several people run across the gangplank, and quickly you start to hear noise and clanking as they very quickly start working on the ship to make sure that it is up and running. He then guides you over to his the captain's quarter. The whole 5 of you, 6 of you. I forgot how many there are of you right now. And sits you all down. He goes over, pours himself what appears to be a glass of whiskey, and kind of offers you care for a drink, any of you?
Yep.
Go ahead.
No,
Pour
go
me
ahead.
3 fingers, please.
Very well.
I'm good right now.
As much as you will give me, please.
Pours you each a glass and says, I think you may have discovered where what has been happening to all the ships that have been found lately. What kind of creatures did you find that were still alive? You mentioned there was something alive there.
Gelatinous cubes.
Gelatinous cubes.
Well, although there were 2 types of oozes.
Yeah,
big-
purple and a different color.
A big, yeah. Although the gelatinous cubes behave differently than the ones, at least the ones I'm familiar with.
I'm sure they did. Knowing where they come from.
They appear to act as a non-Newtonian fluid.
Where do they come from?
Have you now let's get this straight. You all are from Earth, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're no longer okay.
Yep.
Because so have you ever heard of the Illithid?
Yeah.
Yes.
What
They're all over the
In-
Underdark.
In ballads and song and poems.
Would
You don't
I-
want to go to. You don't want to go to
Damn it.
Elephant Court.
Oh, I'm sure that's worse than Goblin Court.
Much worse.
Worse than Ogre Court?
Ogre
Yeah.
Court, yeah.
Way worse.
Ogre Court, they'll just tear off your limbs. Illithid Court, they'll suck out your brain
Oh,
slowly.
and
fun
sometimes they'll
stuff.
turn you into an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yes. I believe people of Earth, they call them mind flayers most of the time. Yes. And your little goblin friend is right here. They do mostly take over people's bodies and turn them into more of their own. No one really knows where they come from up here.
They don't really go for goblins.
No, they really don't. Then something about brain size.
Yeah.
But no one knows where they come from up here. They we're fairly certain they come from a different sphere. And it appears that they have a little colony near us, near this trade route, and have been, my guess, capturing everyone in a ship and just leaving the ship behind. They really have no need for gnome ships or human ships like ours.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do they got a big brain in the jar like they do on Earth?
It's not in a jar. They keep it as part of their some of them part of their ships, but yes, not in a jar, but yes, they do have big brains that they all follow. It's like their leader.
So what we're dealing with is mind flayer pirates.
More like mind
Essentially.
flayer slavers.
It's a type of pirate.
And these gelatinous creatures were
Cleanup
creations
crew.
of theirs.
Yes.
Hmm.
Just clean up anything that's left behind that they can eat. They'll just eat away and have themselves a nice, clean ship. No one would ever know what they were there. We probably got here before that time to finish the job, since you found their remains. Eventually, the slimes just jump off the ship and wander into the next ship or onto an asteroid. Mind flares. They lifted don't really care. They're just slimes. Dispensable. Disposable. Just get rid of them. And no one's the wiser.
Well, we should. I think your your course of action to leave quickly would be well advised. Then
Mhm.
And we should start spreading the word when we get to port.
yes,
Oh, definitely. The gosh, why did I like? Did I write it down? I did not because I'm dumb.
Shameful.
I know, shameful every time. I had this ready yesterday, and then I completely forgot to write things down. Well, that's okay. The Gnome Guild will want to hear about this. More than likely, they'd want to talk to you as well. If you are willing to have some conversation with them about what you saw.
Yeah, I love talking to gnomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe
These
they
gnomes
can
might
get
be a
some
little
hamster
different than
meat
yours.
for more hamster meat for Felix while we're here.
Yeah, that way she doesn't get incredibly mad at me when she finds out that I didn't hide any
Maybe
hamster
she's
meat in
just
her
not
room.
good at finding it.
Don't worry. The gnomes up here aren't quite as they're more accustomed to eating hamster meat than Earth gnomes. I'm sure your friend will pretty soon get used to the flavor, and her urges will slowly get less intense.
Speaking of hamster, Spam, and then like zombie hamster starts walking over from the other ship.
What is that thing?
It's better not to ask.
It's a zombie hamster.
Some of the hamsters got killed during our battle, and to prevent Felix from consuming them further, I elected to resurrect them as zombies, figuring that she would not eat meat that was rotten.
No, I even that I doubt is good.
Yes.
For...
And then he might become quite useful should we get attacked by anything.
As long as he doesn't make a mess or you clean up after it, I really don't care.
Don't worry, he's
self-cleaning.
Yes.
Well, very well. Sorry, I'll just take you back to your ship. Not that you're set the scene. Spaceships. Okay. Well,
space sharks.
My
there are sharks in space.
My crew will make sure that the ship is ready. Until then, if you wouldn't mind just hanging around the gnome ship to ensure that everyone safety. Make sure that everything's cleared out.
Of course.
We will set sail as soon as the ships are repaired, and should take hopefully not very long. But then after that, we'll get a couple of hours before we can we make it to Castia.
Excellent.
Castia. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna make sure that nobody is causing too much trouble over there.
Yes.
With that, he kind of lets you leave. He gives you a little like, there you go, guys, leave.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what do you all want to do? For anything you want to do before you head out into the wild sea?
Etsley is gonna pull Claire aside.
Okay. The rest of you all wander off to do your thing, and you have Claire and Etsley.
Yup. Listen, we need to talk about what happened back on this other ship.
Yeah, I know that you have killed many things and many people, but to do it with such a whim very much reminds me of Scraggs, and as you know, one of the many people he has killed is my mom. not a very good memory or very good connection to have with someone that I care about.
Yes, and I'm sorry for that.
It wasn't even that funny of a
I'm
joke.
I know. When you're raised by a bunch of assassins, you end up with a really weird, dark humor. And I'm still trying to get past that part of myself. They teach you to be cold-blooded and just kill without second thought, which is why I left. I want to be a better person, and I'm so sorry that hurt you. And she's gonna hold her hands tightly and give her a very intense, sincere look.
All right. Well, I appreciate your apology. I might need a little bit of time just to get over it, but I care about you, Etsley. I'm not going. This isn't going to ruin anything between us, but
you take all the time you need. Process. I'm not going anywhere. And she's gonna give her a smile and a kiss on the cheek.
We should go. We should go help.
Yes, great idea.
The rest of you, what would you all like? Anything?
Well, I would like to identify the 3 scrolls and my magic beans.
Your magic beans. Okay, so.
Well,
yeah, you could probably do that. You have identify, right?
Possibly.
I have identify.
Yeah, you're a wizard. You have identify.
Do you mean the music sheets, or are these different sheets?
I think they are music sheets, but it's like
4th and 5th levels.
Arcane music.
Yeah, arcane music, really. So we'll start with the magic beans. They are in fact magic beans. There's nothing special about that. They are in fact magic beans. So that part's fine. Tell me what level were the other spells? I don't remember.
The spell scrolls, it's 2 4th level and 1 5th level.
Okay, 2 4th level, 1 5th level. All right, do me a favor and roll me a D100.
Okay. 59. Okay. There's a discount on the 6th number.
All right, so with that, let's see. 1, 2, 3. The 4th level one is a
spell. 2 4 level.
One of them. So we're gonna do one roll for each. So one of the ones that you have is going to be you read through the music. The music has this what's it called? What's the music term for it? Dissonance, isn't it?
Dissonance is a word in music.
A clashing sound?
Yeah. It's very clashing and very like the sounds don't make sense, and it's like if you were to play them out, it would be kind of wonky and like it'd be very confusing. So you will have yourself a confusion spell.
Hold on, do I have that? Do I know confusion? What level is that for?
It is 4th, yes.
Yes, I already know confusion, so
no, so you have another one.
Yeah. Oh,
a free one, I guess. So you can.
I'll take it
for free.
I'm never short of confusion.
I'll hand it over to Scrags.
Scrags, all right. Scrags, you have a confusion spell scroll.
Great.
Oh, you missed this, Scrags. In this, well, like maybe not in this world. I take it back. On Earth, it became very popular to make scrolls that do not require you to have like that anybody can use.
I thought that's how they already worked.
No, they were kind of wonky.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like checks and stuff.
Yeah, there's checks to it, and you have to be like one, you have to be a spellcaster, and 2, you have to be like a spellcaster of the same. Be able to cast spells at the same level.
Yeah, you have to roll. I believe you have to roll like an Arcana to like make sure you do it right and stuff.
Yeah,
I've been doing that wrong this whole time.
No, that's okay.
It's very
in this world. A while ago, we made it so that anybody can cast any spell from any spell scroll with it's a D20 roll, and it's really just if you get a 1, like something not good is gonna happen, but otherwise it'll go
Yeah.
just
But
fine.
in I don't know if you played third. There was a use magic item skill check, which was like a skill which almost exclusively was used for scrolls
Okay.
and wands. And wands. So you had to do that. It was like the DC was like 15,
Yeah.
but like by like I don't know. I feel like you had like plus 10 bonus plus your skill or whatever. So it was like a useless. I don't know. I'm going off.
Yeah,
on a rant
I don't
about
like.
3.5.
And honestly, I don't like the way that it does work in 5th edition. So a while ago, we just we changed it. But lore wise, in this world, this group actually met the people who invented this kind of scroll.
Oh, okay.
Which was Frank and Patrick, like forever ago.
Oh, that was right before I joined.
I think you met Frank and Patrick.
I did, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a lower reason, and you met the people who invented it.
Cool. How many beans?
Oh yeah, that's a roll, isn't it?
I think it's a. Let me look up.
Yeah.
3d4.
Go for it. Yeah, unless you want me to do it.
No, I'll do it.
3d4.
7 beans.
7 whole beans. All right, and then you can roll me another D100 for your second one.
Okay, another D100. Boop. 31.
31. Okay.
That's
With
for the
a
full-
31, you have Lehman's secret chest.
Okay.
Is that like a better version of a bag of holding?
I don't even know what that one does. To be completely, I have never used it.
Yeah, I've
Let's
never heard of
see.
it either, to be honest.
You hide a chest and all its contents on the ethereal plane. You may touch the chest on the miniature replica that serves as the material component for the spell. The chest can contain up to 12 cubic feet of non-living material. While the chest remains in the ethereal plane, you can use an action to touch the replica to recall the chest. It appears in an occupied space on the ground within 5 feet of you. You can set the chest back to the ethereal plane by using an action and touching both the chest and the replica. After 60 days, there is a cumulative 5% chance per day that the spell's effect ends. This effect ends if you cast the spell again and the similar replica chest is destroyed. So yeah, you pretty much make a chest that you can hide in the ethereal plane.
I just need to find a chest to actually use it.
Yeah, you need a chest, and it looks like you need a chest, a replica of the chest as a material component.
Okay. What about my 5th level?
Oh, yes, your 5th level. Roll me one more D100.
79.
79. Okay. 79, you get Dance Macabre?
Oh,
Do you already have that one?
yes.
Okay, here. I wasn't sure if you had it. Let's go then with, because I don't want to give you two that you already have. That seems rude. So let's try this. We'll do.
I just roll again.
No, I'm just gonna shift the way that things are
All right.
set up here. Scrying?
Oh,
Do you have scrying?
no, I do not.
There you go.
No,
Now
that's
you have a score for
going to be
scrying.
very useful.
I-
Considering I can.
I want the
oh,
wand of fireball.
Was there one to fireball?
A ruby wand of fireballs.
Oh,
And
Yeah, that works.
an iron rook that is an instant fortress. These are my
and I-
notes.
And I got a
those things
bronze.
insane.
And I got a bronze griffin, which is like an instant companion, big beast animal. It turns into an actual griffin to
Yep.
fight for you.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, you guys got some crazy items.
Well, I'm probably at some point spend some time learning
Yes.
those two spells.
I know I got a potion of invisibility. I don't know if I got anything else. That's the only new thing on my list, so
Unless somebody else wrote it down, and I also don't know. You might
don't
have to either
think you
recheck
did.
the stream again, or because I did not write it down.
I
Sorry.
don't think you did. I think you got a load of money, maybe.
You might have gotten a lot of money.
Someone
Someone got a
Perfectly
bow,
possible.
like a +2 bow. I think
I
that was
got that.
Scrags.
I got that, and I gave my +1 bow to Felix,
Mhm.
who didn't know that +1 weapons, +2 weapons don't
Don't need
need.
attunement. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
think
potions
yeah.
of invisibility.
There you go.
I have 2 scrolls listed somewhere else in my.
Are they sex scrolls?
I don't know what they are. I don't remember getting them.
You had
Well,
a sex
I
I
scroll
call
at
them
some
sex
point.
scrolls now.
I
Well,
What the
have
fuck is
three.
a sex scroll? What are you talking
No,
about?
it
They
was-
found they have
It was
wizard porn like a
teleportation
while
porn.
ago.
It was teleportation porn. I used to learn teleportation. So
You found porn
So
that
when-
gave you a spell.
yes. It
Well-
was,
Yes.
so whenever,
yeah.
so
I was
whenever-
holding on to it for so freaking
And then-
long. And then
and
we gave
then-
it to a library.
Yes, but I learned it beforehand, which means that whenever I cast teleportation, it is very, very rude.
Very well. It's yes.
It's very rude or lewd.
He has to,
Both.
he
Lewd.
ends up describing the positions that the two lovers
Like
in
you
this
have,
form are
like
taking.
it's you
It's
basically have,
raunchy.
yeah.
It's a downward facing dog. And then
What is it? What
missionary.
is this campaign?
It has been nothing but nonsense.
Welcome
I don't
back,
remember-
Jess.
I don't
I've,
remember.
I've been telling my stream partner Volk about this campaign, and she's been like, "Oh my god, that sounds like it would be so much fun." So if you ever want a person on Tuesdays, she's eager about the idea of playing in a game where she has to sit in the line for 2 sessions.
Well, who knows? Maybe they can join the newer one that we're gonna do eventually.
Eventually, you guys are getting close to the end of this one. So,
Mhm.
but yeah,
I'm just gonna go delete the 2 scrolls because I think
Sure.
they're probably
you might have
from-
used it or you might have learned them.
Yeah, like I don't remember.
Yeah, there's a good
That
chance
was
you
one
learned
that
them because
level
you've
on
been learning all your scrolls.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
with
have a
all
lot
that,
of scrolls.
anyone else want to do anything while they wait for the crew or help out with the crew? You're really just there to provide protection.
Yeah,
You're
I
not-
think we should
you're
look
not-
around. Kind of were a little bit late on the draw last time when basically we looked over and went, hey, is there a big ship floating towards us? So maybe I'll do a perception check and walk
Just
around.
like on deck to see.
Mm-hmm.
What race are you, Christy?
Verdan.
What is that?
It is
They're
a
the
new
Gil-
Acquisitions Incorporated
yeah.
race.
Oh,
They're like green.
I'll assist
Goblin
you with
elves?
that perception.
They're like tall goblins.
Yeah, tall
Yeah.
goblins. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like tall gender bending goblins.
Continuously mutating goblinoids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Got some limited
Interesting.
telepathy. Got some other nice little perks.
Didn't know that. Interesting.
They're weird. Weird and fun.
That's cool. I didn't know.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'll
I see
assist you
tomorrow.
on that perception.
Oh,
Oh,
I,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't
I'm,
even
gonna,
need to.
I'm following Chrissy's character around.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna assist you with whatever you're doing.
okay.
so the three of you sit on deck and just kind of look around.
Oh my gosh,
to
does Scrags have
beauty
a
of
crush?
space.
No.
So the the first thing that you probably notice is that unlike when you were on the moon, you could see Earth. It was still like, it's not like it was big or anything, but you could see it, right? Now that you're here, you can't see Earth, you can't see moon. It's all just, you're pretty sure they're one of the dots at the other end. You can very clearly see the sun. But otherwise, you seem to be like, everything just seems to be pretty remote around here. Probably the only thing that would kind of catch your attention is that you still see like like things that are what to you appear to be like shooting stars. If you know anything about how shooting stars actually work on Earth, it's like they're going near the atmosphere or in our atmosphere, and they're kind of like burning up things. So it's a little odd that you see shooting stars because there's no atmosphere. So that's a bit weird. Which I think maybe one of you is smart enough to figure out. But I told you.
Maybe
so one of you is smart.
Horatio.
One of you is smart to figure out that that's a little weird. That you
That's-
really shouldn't be seeing shooting stars.
Well, I
Sorry,
spent most of the dark.
I'm reading through the what the beans can do.
Oh, to focus on the game. Beans can wait. We're getting
That is part
hit
of
by
the game.
meteorites.
Is it a nature check?
You would know just from
can't-
if they
oh,
tell
okay.
you, hey, we saw like shooting stars, you'd be like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes no goddamn sense.
Unless they're
I
like passing through the air bubbles around the ship somehow.
Potentially, so they might be doing that. It just kind of gives you an impression that there's like your whole world of physics has been turned upside down.
Very
Physics-
exciting.
Physics does not work out here, so it's either they're passing through something else that's kind of igniting them, or they are things that are that big and that shiny that they're leaving like a tail behind.
Shiny.
I'm gonna need.
You're gonna need more paper.
new
You're gonna
notebook
run out
at
of
this
paper
rate.
soon. Yeah, so that's what you all see.
Okay, can I just mention something?
Yes.
So, one of the possibilities of this beam is that it can spawn a 60-foot space pyramid containing a mummy lord. I have a command on dead. There is
You want
a
to
real
try to command a mummy
there,
lord.
there is a real. It would probably.
Oh my god.
It's probably intelligent enough that it would get advantage on it, but I don't think it's intelligent enough that it would get to try and break free every hour. So there is a slight chance that I could potentially permanently command a mummy lord.
Why wouldn't it be able to get a save every hour?
It has to be intelligence above 12.
You don't think a mummy lord would have an intelligence? I think mummy lords are spellcasters normally, aren't they?
Nope, intelligence of 11.
Oh.
Age of 11. There we go.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, hey, buddy.
So it would get advantage on the saving throw, but not.
I didn't know that. I thought they had spells.
Sorry, that they do, but they aren't.
Yeah,
that's
it might not be
very-
intelligent based. Could be wisdom based or charisma based. which-
Sorry, I just wanted to bring that up because that's very, very fun to me. That I could
You might get
potentially
there.
just.
Wow, we'll find out if this
Slim
happens. You guys got a lot of.
We might go into battle with a mummy lord.
I think a year level mummy lord is probably not that much of a hassle.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But the pyramid does count as its lair.
Yeah. So it might get some layer actions. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But okay, so now that you've kind of gotten all your stuff out of the way, the Captain Alderon, comes around and lets you know that the other ship is ready. And he asks you which ship you would like to ride on. It's not going to be a very long trip, but they are giving you the option. He also explains to you that the control panel, the things that are missing, seem to be parts of the mechanism. Like, it's not part of what keeps the ship going. It's part of the mechanisms that locks and unlocks all the doors. So it was probably pulled out to unlock pretty much all the doors at once in the ship, making it a whole lot easier to get around.
Ah.
Yeah, but nothing to do with navigation, it doesn't seem like. So, but he's also not a gnome, and this is a gnome ship, and gnomes do a lot of weird shit.
We got gnomes.
Yes,
No.
space gnomes they do some weird shit. You give them a toy to tinker with, and they will tinker with it, and then that thing will have a problem, and then they'll make another toy to fix the problem that the first toy created, and then they'll like a gadget, and then they'll just keep going doing that forever. Gnome workshops
Huh.
are just one gadget fixing another gadget fixing another gadget. They're kind of wild out here, but most of as far as needing it to travel through wild space, they don't really need all that fancy stuff. They just like to have all that fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Understood. I want to stay on the main boat.
Okay. Should be a pretty quick, easy ride.
I will go to the other. I'm quite interested in what might have. I might be able to glean further clues about what has happened there for my research.
Etzley will go where Claire goes.
Okay. Claire is also curious about the gnome ship. She'll hang out in the gnome ship.
Yeah, and Etzley will go with her.
Okey dokes. So with everyone in their ships, the two ships take off. It's space, so it's harder for you to see distance because things aren't moving, but you can feel yourselves rocket off. And for the most part, it's a pretty quiet ride. Uh, Scrags, I bet Scrags is probably more likely to see it because there's like an actual like top deck for the human ship. It's not all enclosed. You kind of you remember those things that Pre pointed out that look like shooting stars, and you see that one of them is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Um, and like you're gonna pass through it pretty soon. Um, a lot of the crew on your ship start to climb up on top of the on the deck and all start to get by the railing to watch this what appears to be a shooting star come by. And as it gets closer, you notice that it's not a chunk of rock glowing through an atmosphere. It almost looks like a really big fish with a long tail on it, glowing like this gorgeous golden color. Its tail just sway behind you, and all the crew members are out there. A couple of them are praying to it. Most of them are just sitting there in awe of it as it goes by.
A golden fish, you say?
Golden fish. A very
Well,
large golden fish.
What?
You
You're not
unfortunately-
there.
you
You are
unfortunately can't
unfortunately
see
the
it.
wrong ship.
Yep.
Wow,
missed
that
the
was
chance.
really weird. I just look at the closest guy. It's like, why are you praying?
Oh, legend has it that they protect ships that are going by. They give you good luck.
Good luck, you say.
Good luck, yes.
I pray with them.
Go for it. Do me a religion.
Okay.
Just a religion.
I think that's a -1. No, it's a 0.
It's a 0. Okay. That's fine. You pray. I feel like Scrags is the kind of person who probably has several tokens from several religions and prays to several gods, just hoping that one of them will give him some luck. And
He's like, baby. He's like, all right, fish, baby. Please, the next time I go to the casino, please let me hit it big. Come on, fish god.
He's a big fish god. All right. So with that, the rest of the journey is uneventful. You do eventually start to see the planet that you're heading towards get bigger and bigger. The ship feels like it slows down as it nears it. And you enter through the atmosphere again. Horatio, you are surprised that wooden ships aren't just burning up as they go through the atmosphere. This makes no goddamn sense, but hey,
You see
space doesn't work
Horatio,
like you
like-
thought it does.
Horatio like running out, like looking to see, like expecting like a ball of plasma on the end of a
Yeah,
blade.
there's no ball of plasma. It just kind of slowly cruise down. The planet, as you see it from a distance, looks not too dissimilar from your planet, from Earth. It's got lots of continents, big oceans. But what you do notice is that it seems a lot greener than your planet. It does have deserts, but they're for the most part just really, really green. And as you approach the greenness, you expect it to be trees, just big forest and whatnots. But as you approach them, you start to see that the trees, while they look like trees, as in they have the general shape of a trunk, and then branches, and then what appear to be leaves coming off of them. As you get closer, you notice that the leaves they're not plant. They're like big crystal leaves. Attached with metal and bolts onto a big metal trunk. And so there's a good amount of these trees. Some of them are actual trees, but some of the taller ones are fake big metal trees. And as you go through like the big fake foliage, you find that with underneath the foliage there are platforms with almost like small towns on them with um, varying in size, but all of them having um, houses and buildings sitting on top of them. Um, as you cruise in, you see that between each ones there appears to be some sort of railway connecting them, where you see carts just flying between floating island to floating island. Um, crate carts of all sorts of size. Some of them appear to be passenger ones with windows on them. You can see gnomes sitting in there, just enjoying the ride. Others appear to be carrying materials around. Um, and eventually you get to an area with lots of ships. Most of the ships here are more like the gnomish ship that you have boarded earlier. Lots of metal and wings and canvas and spinning things and moving parts. Unlike the human ship that you're on, there's actually the human ship. The human like ships are a bit of a rarity in this port. But both ships kind of they slowly make it to the nearest dock and just dock in. And yeah, you guys have arrived at Kostia. The captain comes around and asks all of you to please wait on his ship that he needs to go talk to. He calls it. I finally figured out the name. He calls it the Shimmering Blade Guild. He says that is what the ship. That's the name. That's what the ship belongs to, and so he needs to have a word with the guild masters about what has happened. More than likely, someone will be over to pick you up and have a chat with you, bring you over. But he needs to smooth things over first. It's not every day that you find a gnome ship just drifting in space. There's going to have to be a little bit of tact on delivering this information. And so it gives you a little bit of time to hang out on the human ship if you have anything you want to do.
I need to remember how copying spells over works. It's like an hour per level,
and then some amount of gold, I think, and half as much if it's in your school.
Yeah, none of these are in my school.
Yeah, so more than likely you won't have enough time right now.
Okay.
But
Are we gonna have to break the news?
no, that's what he took off to. He took off to go break the news, but he's pretty sure that you all are going to have to come talk to them because you're the ones who investigated it. Yeah,
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Do we know what each other found in the the room?
Well, what, in the room with the crates? Yeah.
Because I
think so.
Seem to remember someone finding a wand of the War Mage that was a +3.
I think that was Felix.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
I remember a War Mage thing.
Yeah.
I didn't remember what it was.
It was a +3 because I have the +2. So.
Yep. You guys can hopefully when Felix is here.
Yeah. That might be a nice upgrade.
Etsley's just gonna walk around the strip and just look around and take in this new weird environment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Etsley.
All right. Etsley, you can do well. It doesn't really. You're not really require a perception check. You look around. There's a lot. The city that you're in. Like any dock, the first kind of few buildings are short, and as you go further up in the horizon, you can see taller and taller buildings. The interesting thing about all these buildings are that there's not buildings, but the city is that there's a lot of things flying around between buildings, in between buildings. Some of them seem to be like single person sized spheres. Some of them seem to be like rowboats. Some of them look like bats with like one person sitting on top of it. All sorts of weird creatures and shapes are kind of flying about here.
It's Lee's gonna see the bat one, and her eyes are just gonna get really big and wonder, and like,
Mhm.
I want one of those.
Yes. And as you observe the dock, and dock workers start to unload the gnome ship that you were on, you do see that they don't just have people walking over to like pick things up, but they have like small little like spider looking things with like multiple legs, like come robots with multiple legs coming over. And they put with a flat top so they can put crates on top, and then it slowly walks its way over to where it needs to be dropped off. They have machines with claws picking things up and whatnots. The one constant about all the machines that you see is that no two of them look alike. It's not like here where you have like cranes that all look like cranes, or uh, that you would see at a dock. Rather, each crane here looks different. Some of them look like big claws that come down, pick things up, and put them over. Some of them look like big old gorillas that just go over, grab a thing, move it, put it down. Some of them look like spiders, and so there's no. The theme is there is no theme. Everything looks like whatever the person built it like. There are no standards. OSHA does not exist on this planet.
Well, this is cool.
It's very
Yeah,
cool.
it's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Anything else you all want to do before me?
Any new stores around here? Any stores nearby?
So you guys are kind of stuck on the ship for a bit until the
Yeah,
until
so
you
there's
get.
not much we can do.
Yeah, there's not much
Just
you can
kinda-
do. Just if you wanted to ask around or do anything else, besides look at the scenery. Otherwise, the captain will be back.
Oh, yeah, Preet will roll one.
Yeah, just
Pass it around.
Pass it around with the crew.
pass around.
Yep.
and last ditch effort gets high together, except for Horatio because Shala
Yeah,
There's no fish.
fish food.
There's no fish food.
yeah.
That's
Shala
his
had the
one
fish
true
food for you.
love.
Yes,
I mean,
won't-
Shala.
I think
Jess won't get to experience high Horatio.
I think we're
Yeah.
probably about 3/4 of the way through the stash. So
Oh yeah. They also found like a giant stash on a slave
We
When we
ship.
found
stole,
drugs.
when we stole a ship and
They
became
stole a slave
pirates,
ship, became pirates,
freed
found a bunch of
slaves,
weed.
gave them
yeah,
the ship,
and wine,
and we
and
got
wine.
weed and
Yeah.
wine.
and we went and had
Wow.
a party on the beach.
And they
We
gave
got
the ship
really
to
messed up.
Erasmus, who took it off on an Erasmus adventure.
Because in this world, Erasmus is actually good at boats.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's not true.
Didn't he roll like a nat 20?
He
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
He rolled a net.
That's
I
where the
rolled
legend
a nat
began.
20 on boats.
On boats. The only
Finally,
time that has
after-
ever happened.
After
Doesn't
the
matter.
adventure ended.
Well,
But-
the Rasmus I remember, he was a
Never
cart
mind.
smith.
As you guys are sitting here, you do hear Blue tell you about Erasmus's boat skills and lack thereof. So while he doesn't join you because he's like, I'm more of a catnip kind of person. So, and I didn't bring any.
A catnip kind of person.
Yeah, I'm a cat.
I'm never gonna get that. No. So, like, you're like a cat then.
Yeah.
All right, but then, like, what do you think about actual cats, like house cats?
R&D, did you seriously?
Yes, he did. He's getting in character. And that pen
do
probably
you-
has cat hair on it in real life.
I'll
too.
go ahead and tell y'all that's not R&D getting into character. That's just him.
I mean,
I
He's a
don't.
character of sorts.
That's true. Cats, I've tried to talk to my cat brethren about stopping their enslavement, but then they tell me that they have the humans enslaved, and you know what? I believe them.
Wait, so you talk to cats?
Don't you talk to cats?
No, I don't talk to any animal. I eat them.
Oh.
You talk to me. I'm an animal.
He has an
Scrags just kind of like stares and then looks away.
Yes. No. They have a good life. They sit there and they
I just don't
Talk to
understand.
snakes.
they eat.
Do you?
Jesus.
Yes, I do. I
I
haven't talked to one in a while, but
So, you guys just talk to animals that kind of look like your race.
yeah.
Well, in my case, they quite literally are.
I'm not talking to you, fish.
Well, you are.
You're an anomaly. You're not normal. There are other of blue. There's other blues. There's other races.
Other of me.
No, there's not.
That's a big
There's only
mustache.
one Horatio.
Horatio
Weird
is over there.
fish wizards? No. Sorry.
They might not be wizards.
The only
I've seen Felix talk to her little weasel.
True. Although
Yeah, that's
that is a fake creature in disguise, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, what's Petunia? Petunia's she's not a weezer. So
Cat?
no, what's Petunia?
Petunia is a weasel.
So do you all
Rosie
just
is a
talk to
persuasive.
different animals?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not recently.
I don't talk to
Literally
any
right
animals.
here.
That's good. That's good to know. There's a baseline here.
The majority
I
of
just-
us talk to other animals.
Yeah.
So you all talk to animals. I'm the ranger here.
So
And I
why
don't
you
talk to animals.
Don't you talk to animals?
Well, maybe you should
Have you tried?
widen
How
your
else have you tried?
range.
Not even a slight interest in talking to an animal. What am I going to learn from a squirrel?
There are just
Probably
squirrels.
nothing.
Maybe you should
Well-
go talk to the hamster. I'm sure they have like a good
Why?
stories to tell.
I mean,
What
you could
story?
attempt-
I don't know. I don't talk to hamsters.
You won't know if you would learn.
So
something.
you
might say
feel a
yourself.
kinship with normal house cats.
Yeah, they're like me but smaller.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't see why it makes perfect sense.
Don't you have a kinship with like smaller goblins?
What
How about with the
smaller
taller
goblin?
goblin?
What, hobgoblins and
No,
bugbears?
This one.
Look at Freak.
I'm
Pre
Yes.
isn't
for
a
Like a
Dan.
tall
goblin.
goblin, right?
I'm-
No.
I'm Verdun.
Where's... Yeah, like it's a different species.
Well, so I speak my own. We speak a common language. It's not like I have a special Verdan language that only other and like squirrels.
Also, like, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Goblins, not the best conversationalists normally. Goblinoids, same.
So like, don't talk to hobgoblins.
God, have you talked to a hobgoblin?
Never mind.
All they talk about is martial prowess, this, and I'm really good with a sword, that, and I'm the best. Oh, I put this guy on a pike. Ooh. Bugbears, they're basically ogres, but goblins.
Oh, maybe. I'm just saying you should talk to more creatures.
I talk to plenty of creatures. I talk to this fish right there, and I talk to the rest of you. I don't need to know anything else.
You might
Unless
look
you're paid to know, right?
Yeah. Well, then, yeah. That's a given.
What would it take me? What would it take for me to pay you to talk to a squirrel?
What do you got?
No. That is, I know your negotiation tactics. I'm not falling for that.
Then why are you even talking about paying me?
Well, everyone has their price.
Yeah, why are you negotiating with him to begin with?
If you're not going to pay me, then why do I care?
I am gonna pay you,
Okay. What do you
and
got?
I want to know how much that.
What are you offering?
cost. No,
Pay him
I want to
something.
know. 10 gold.
10 gold.
It doesn't have to be a long conversation, just a couple of minutes.
Do you know any squirrels around here in space?
Well, not
Are
right
there
now, but
space
like
squirrels?
when we get back.
Yeah, there's space hamsters.
I mean, there's
So-
space hamsters. There might be space squirrels.
Also,
Listen, I'm gonna
giant
talk-
space fish. Don't forget.
yes.
Space fish.
Oh, you could have had a conversation with the giant. That thing looked delicious.
I
had-
will
Oh, yeah, there was a
ignore-
giant
I will ignore
fish.
the last bit of that.
It was
Giant
basically
goldfish.
this huge fish. It was made of, it was like golden. It was shining. It was radiant, really. It was one of the most stunning things I'd ever seen in my entire life. And I was sitting there and it came floating towards us slowly, passing the ship by. Everyone started crying. I saw this guy over there. He was crying. It was so beautiful. It was radiating of beauty. And I even had to pray to it because I was told I was lucky.
Is he pulling my fin here?
No, I'm not.
No, there was legitimately. A bit.
Hey,
No,
hey,
no,
guy.
no.
Hey, guy was crying at the fish.
Everyone just looks at you and just nobody knows who you're talking to.
I'm pointing at a guy.
At the one specific guy. Let's see. Roll me a d6. Just a good old fashioned d6.
This is how we
Okay.
get kicked off.
No, you're gonna kick off.
Oh,
probably.
he come.
Okay, so the guy that you are pointing at is not the same guy that was crying, but he was a guy that was crying. So he's like, "Yeah,
Do you remember that big fish?
yes."
Remember how you cried when you saw it?
Okay. We don't look. I don't know how you do things down here, but we don't talk about the crying part. Like
I'm just saying.
what
it
happens
was,
on the ship stays on the ship.
it was beautiful, right? It was a beautiful
It was
fish.
beautiful.
See?
What's
It
it
was,
like to cry? I've never done it.
it sucks.
Interesting.
Yes.
And Horatio takes a note.
Horatio at this point just has like papers floating all over his fishbowl as he's noting things.
No,
down.
okay. It's Trevor taking the notes. They're not inside the bowl.
I think you should have them inside the bowl because that'd be hilarious.
I think you should have sticky notes on the side of the
Just
bowl.
sticky
Like
notes
you,
on the
just,
side.
like you just have waterproof sticky notes that you just stick all over your bowl.
No. Trevor writes a sticky note and then sticks it on the
Yeah.
bowl.
Yeah,
This is a stick-
but it's written on the
on the inside.
on the
bit.
side with the glue, so I can
Yeah.
read it from inside the
Yeah.
bowl.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of sticky notes from this travel all over Horatio's bowl. All right. As you all are conversing about different races and how you all have a kinship with some of them and not others, Captain Alderon comes back over. Lets you know they would like to have a word with you regarding what has happened. Don't worry, you're not in any sort of trouble. They are very grateful for what you have done, clearing out the slimes from the ship. But they do wish to talk about some of the things that you saw on the ship. So if you wouldn't mind following.
Preet's gonna like prop
Yeah,
up his
let's
collar a
go.
bit, and then head off. Yep, follow.
Yep.
All right. So you finally get to step on the first platform. Gnomes just everywhere, walking around. None of them care that you are there or that you are on the way. They're you watch out for them. They do not watch out for you. So you do have them on several occasions, especially some of the machines get uncomfortably close to you because they don't bother to stop for you. So
Hmm.
they're not bothering to stop. So you eventually make it to what looks like a warehouse. There are, as you walk in, I have a map for that. Oh, I also need a. Oh, I have a map for the city. But that's okay.
Hurrah!
We're gonna skip it for now. Okay. You end up in the guild house for the Shimmering Blade. Thank you, Meditating Monkey, for drawing this on Reddit. I should ask for permission before I use things, but that's okay.
On Reddit?
Yeah, this was from Reddit.
That's what they're putting it there for, isn't it?
No, it is, but it'd be just so that everybody, if you'd like to use this again.
Yep. I've got their name
That's the
up
place to
on
go.
the screen.
Yeah.
So,
So there's
getting a
where you
promotion.
go find them. You find yourselves in the
As long as you
guild
credit.
house. You are this is the entrance, so you guys are here. And you may place yourself on here as much as you want. I'm gonna take a quick break so you all ooh and ah and talk about what dastardly weirdnesses you're gonna say do.
all right.
So next campaign,
Mhm.
I'm making for this particular one because I feel like I understand R&D style a little more. I'm going to make a completely normal guy. Like
Yes.
he's got a family.
Does he
He's
wear a bow
happy.
tie?
No. He's
Not
like a
that
guy
bad.
who's going on an adventure because it's like his trade, really. But like it's just kind of his trade. He's got a family. He's got no
Like Hawkeye.
He's not like a tragic background.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Exactly. Kind of like Hawkeye in the Marvel movies. Yeah. Just kind of like
He's just the guy that's there.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's having a good life. You know.
He's really good at one
And-
thing. He does it, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not who he is. He's a
I'm gonna
family
be a
man.
fighter. I think. I haven't been a fighter yet.
I am going in the complete opposite direction. I am gonna use if R&D will allow it, I will be playing a Myconid. And
When do you not play a silly character? Though?
oh, that's my whole thing. I love playing silly characters.
I know that's fine.
I will be
but
playing a warlock, but not a warlock. It will be the Strixhaven ones. So it's
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Witherbloom. So and I'm gonna be incredibly selective in which spells I pick, and they're all gonna be things that like conceivably something that spores could cause. So it's all gonna be like charming or like illusion spells and stuff.
That's fun.
Oh, by the way, if you need the Strixhaven Compendium on Roll20, I have it,
Oh, okay.
so you can
I'm
build it
I'm
also-
from
planning on
there.
being an artificer.
Also, I'm
An artificer, like a.
Yes.
That's
Mhm.
cute.
Also, I'm planning on not naming the characters because Myconids don't have names. It's like within their own meld. They just communicate telepathically. So I'm gonna let the rest of the party name them when they meet them.
Yes.
I'm gonna get a
So we all gotta start thinking of names.
For a Myconid.
Yes.
I think I don't know how R&D's gonna feel about it, but well, how close are we to the end of this campaign exactly? Do we know? Have any
You're
idea?
about so you got about 2 arcs left. So
Hmm.
you finish this
So
off.
8 months.
Depending on how quickly we'll go through it and how many lines you'll wait through.
Oh yeah,
It does
Twilight.
sound like people are excited to get new things going, so I'm gonna try
Well-
not to make you sit in line for like
no. I mean,
several sessions.
I'm still excited about this campaign.
No,
It's
I
like-
think it's good to be excited about a new thing too. But either way, I'm gonna try not to have you guys sit in lines for sessions.
R&D, how do you feel about the Twilight Domain Cleric?
Besides it being
Oh.
OP,
Well, also, I know you as a DM and your fucking dark mantles. So
Oh.
about my what?
you're the way
Dark
that you like to
mantles.
kill us.
Oh yeah, no, I don't kill you guys. I don't like to kill you all. I've only technically killed
Oh,
you
then we'll
3 times.
yeah.
It's more of that sometimes you jump in before asking for thinking things through.
Well,
Can't help you.
in that case, we would end up with 2 healers. So
Yeah, which is
We
fine.
had that before.
yeah.
We had
I mean,
3.
extra heal.
No,
Yeah,
I was saying,
so-
I was,
so
I was
at
saying
the
it
end
was
of
a
the
good
day-
thing. I was saying it
End
was
of
a
the
good thing.
day, I will when it comes to like combat encounters, just like I do here, I'm going to change them depending on what you have. If you have a lot of healers, I'm gonna remember that and be like, okay, they have a lot of healing. So what can we do to, depending on what you're fighting, it might be that you have somebody who's like, haha, I know they have a lot of healers.
That's fair. That's
Like
fair.
things like that. It'll depend. Like, some of the smarter enemies are gonna be like, I know these peeps. Some of the not smart ones are still gonna be like slimes or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into Strixhaven much, and I'm interested in the Amethyst Dragonborn as well. So we'll see.
And I'm back.
Cool beans. All right, so you arrive at the guild house. As you enter, the first thing that you see is that they have a nice, fun map of your solar system. It is uh, it is moving a lot slower than you would think it does, but it also, once you see it to scale, makes sense why it moves so slow. But it does have all of the planets that you know of, and then a few that you have never seen and or heard of, all within kind of the same sphere. I think you're, as far as you know, how many planets did I put in your thing? Six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yours, your solar system, as far as you know, has 7 planets. So this one clearly has a couple extra. So that's kind of the first thing that you notice. Other than that, there is a lot of running around, a lot of things kind of exploding, but in a very not quite quieter than explosion, like things going bang and springs flying everywhere and little poofs of smoke. As machinery kind of explodes, and then you see another little machine come over and fix the machine and then walk away, and for it to just explode again, for a little machine to come over, fix it, and walk away. But once you enter, you do see a small gnomish man with a long beard come up to you, and he says, I am Lickwig. Captain Elderon tells me that you were the ones who found our missing ship.
Yes, that's the case.
Oh, I am very thankful for all that you have done. That's not liquid, Lickwig.
Oh, wig. Oh, okay.
Wig. Lickwig.
I heard it as
I
liquid.
will-
I was like, that's
Yeah, I know.
name.
Wig. There you go.
Like
Thank you.
he's almost a Pokemon.
Almost Pokemon. I would like to get some of the details from you as to the state of the
course.
ship. I heard you found some very interesting creatures and materials while you were there.
Yes.
Mm.
We actually have a sample of one of the materials. Preet.
Well, I'm like your assistant now.
Preet starts just giggling, mostly
No.
because
Like-
he's high, but also
Yeah.
because
Like
Yeah,
it was
because-
my idea to take it in the first
Yeah.
place. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yes.
found this, or no, we all found it, but I kept some.
Yes, but you were the one who was smart enough to take a sample.
Mm.
Yep. So there, he kind of hands it over.
Would you mind if one of my alchemists took a look at it?
No.
Very well.
It
He-
appears to have mind melting properties of some.
Yes. If what Alderon has told me is true, that is not surprising coming from the Illithid. Signar, come here and take this bottle. You see a rather young-looking, bright-eyed gnome come over. Yes, sir. And he takes the bottle and runs off with it. Why don't you all come with me to our conference room? We'll have a little chat. And he'll take you over to this conference room on the right side. If you guys want to move over there, this is really more of a set the mood than a battle map, but gives you an idea where you're at. So tell me, what did you find on the ship?
All sorts of slimes and gelatinous cubes.
Well, I guess the main thing was no people. No trace of anyone.
Yeah, they look like they got eaten or something, like stealthily. Yeah, that's best part.
By the slime.
By the slide.
I doubt they were eaten by the slime.
Oh well.
More than likely, the Illithid will send someone in. Typically, how they hunt or gather slaves is they will send in one person under their control, sabotage the ship, and then board it.
I knew it.
They will then, if they are quickly and quiet about it, they can manage to catch the crew off guards. They do have some mind control abilities, which I believe is the purple goo that you gave us, which will allow them. Yes. So you get one person and you slowly infect the whole ship.
Right.
Before you know it, everyone is willingly leaving the ship. Uh, we have my my men are checking the inventory. I am sure that I will find everything there. The Elitha do not really care about material possessions. They are more concerned with creatures that they can enslave. Um,
Well, we did make a hole in the bottom of the ship, so some things might have, flown out
Yeah.
during
It
our.
wasn't really in the bottom of the ship. It was in one of the floors.
Well, yeah, but yeah,
the
we had to
bottom
we had to find some cubes,
yes,
and yeah, that was how we took care of them.
yes. Damage does happen from time to time. I understand.
It's interesting that you say that the crew would not have been eaten or affected by the slimes, because in the crew quarters I found in many of the beds um, a slimy residue that in the area where a person would be if they slept.
Yes. Um, that is likely where they were infected.
Ah, I see.
Yes. Easier when they're asleep. You can just Illithids can just pour their little mind juice.
Interesting.
Yes. I do thank you for your help, and I do not wish to burden you more, but Captain Alderon highly recommends you. He says you were quite adept at eliminating the slime infestation. And also that you are looking for a way out of this sphere.
Yes, we are.
I think I might have a bargain that might benefit the both of us. You see,
What is this bargain?
Does it involve going after mind flares?
He is quite astute.
Yeah.
We did not realize that it was mind flayers that were attacking our trading routes. We had figured it was very sloppy pirates. But now that you have brought us evidence that it is a colony of mind flayers, we cannot allow their colony to continue, especially not on these shipping routes. I'm sure they picked it because of the high traffic, but having our ships constantly disappear is not just a loss of life, but a loss of revenue and loss of supplies.
Well, I mean, you sound like you know a bit about them. Would you be willing to equip us with things that would help us in battle or give us some information before we went blind into a fight?
Yes, of course.
Even though we don't even know where they are.
We have researchers here that have been triangulating where they have found all the ships. At first, they thought that the attacks were random, but now that you have given us some more evidence, they are working tirelessly to pinpoint where potential areas for colonies. Mind flayers, unlike pirates, need rather large colonies to house their giant brain leader, along with areas to be able to store and process creatures that they capture. Makes it they're not just hiding in some random asteroid or in a random ship. You have limited the places that they could be hiding.
The creatures, the people they would have captured, are they rescuable?
Depends on the state that you find them in.
I
They
see.
might. Some may be beyond your abilities to rescue. And to be very frank with you, uh, a painless death might be a better substitute for the state that you might find them in.
This leader brain you talk of, would killing it have any effect on the rest of them?
Yes. They will lose. We do not know exactly what effect it would have, but they would lose, like losing a commander in a war. They would lose anybody to give them real instructions. They would be wandering around mindless. They are much better as a colony than they are as individuals.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the reason that I believe that you all would be the perfect candidates for this is your willingness or your desire to leave the sphere. You see, the Lithid, they are not from our sphere. Nobody really knows what sphere they come from. But one of the things that they have mastered is the ability to travel from one sphere to another. And many of their ships have the necessary navigation and equipment to allow traveling from sphere to sphere. I believe that if you help us take down this colony, you would be able to use one of their ships to reach your destination.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah, maybe we're looking for a ride. Can't really get anywhere till we do.
Yes. Captain Alderon has explained to me your predicament.
Well, do we...
Of course, I would not send you alone. My guild would help with this endeavor. A whole colony of mind flayers is a little much.
An undertaking.
Yes. But I believe that you would be great for starting off.
Yeah, I think we've got a contract or something, right?
Yes, we would. Well, I think if we have that
to hire the company.
Oh yeah, probably. Where would you keep them? I guess it depends on where you'd keep them.
I'm not sure about all
Felix
this.
would have it, right?
Felix usually does it.
Yeah. Just put a pin in that.
Is that your Earth Gnome friend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in it.
Well, we understand what happens when Earth Gnomes come and first taste space hamster. It is quite a delicacy if you're not accustomed to it. I had one of my alchemists prepare this for you, and he puts down a little bottle. Should knock her out for a couple of days, but once she wakes up, she'll at least have gone through the worst of her condition.
Oh,
that's good because she is currently tearing her room apart. She thinks that there's hamster meat in there.
Oh, I am certain. This should at least help you with that.
Oh, yeah.
I can get her to take it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be quite sly, you can always pour it on some hamster meat. She'll eat it right up.
Oh no, I can get her to drink it willingly.
Right. So, you said your guild could help. What particular did you have in mind?
We have many ships and men who are more than willing to attack the colony.
Oh, okay. What kind of troops you got?
Hi. Sorry, cat.
He's so cute.
Make up your mind. Is that where you're gonna be? Okay, that's where we're gonna be.
He's a parrot cat.
He's a carrot cat. He just wants to sit on my shoulder. That's it. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah, he's a carrot.
Look at you, buddy. You're so cute. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm being distracted by my cat. Um, I have 3 ships available that them, the captain and their crew, would be more than willing to help out.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Great.
yes. You, if you have, there is much research that can be done if you wish to do some research, and then we will try to provide as many resources as we can. While it may incur a great expense to us, the cost of having illithids in this area has also cost us plenty of good men and resources. Getting rid of them is a top priority.
Let's see.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think doing some research and knowing how to attack and what to expect is probably the best idea.
Yes.
I'm doing some strategizing.
Once we know the location, too.
Yes.
That'll help.
It should take it'll take a day or two before our we have the coordinates for you. There's a lot of data to sift through.
Of course.
We will also be sending a few scouts out to get us the best location.
If I can be of any assistance in this endeavor, I would be more than happy to.
While I appreciate your offer, the ways up here are very different than those on your planet. I do not think you fully have grasped the difference between what you think is the way wild space operates and the way it actually does.
That's fine. Well,
yes, we do appreciate it. For now, feel free to stay in the city and do as you please. We will send messages with the moment we have any news for you.
Excellent.
Very good.
And before you go, he hands you 1, 2, 3, 7 of you. He hands you 7 envelopes. This is a payment for rescuing the ship.
Thanks. Yeah, we didn't.
How much? How much is it each?
It's 1,000 space bucks each.
Nice. I'm gonna put it in my silver slot because it starts with an S.
There you go. 1,000 space
I'm
bucks.
gonna put it in the Electrum because no one never uses Electrum.
There you go. And then he also hands you what appears to be a box with several gears in it and a single button at the top. And when you find a place that you lodging, please use this to let the guild know where it is so that we may send you further messages.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yandu?
It was a pleasure to meet all of you, and I hope we will be successful in eradicating this contagion from our space.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. With that, what would you all like to do?
I'm guessing one good thing to do would be look for a place to sleep.
Yep. Having a place to go and rest would be helpful.
And then maybe we can find a bar and Etsley's gonna like give Pre a playful elbow.
I'm liking this idea more and more.
I want to go space shopping. I want to see what they sell in space.
Want to see what they sell in space. All right. Is anyone going to go get Felix out of, like, just kind of locked her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Anyone else want to go back with me to the ship? Get Felix.
Fuck no.
I'm gonna get her to take the and she's gonna like wave the potion around.
No, I think Preet's gonna busk. See if he can make any more space bucks.
I'll go. I'll help you.
All right, cool. All
All
right,
right.
performance.
What's Blue and Claire doing?
What's Blue and Karen doing? Let's see. Blue doesn't really need anything. He's pretty much decked out. Actually, maybe he does need something. What does he need? Who knows? He probably needs something.
Who knows?
Who knows? Claire will just follow Etsley because it's what Claire does. Yeah, Blue will offer to go space shopping with you, Scrags. Now that he's got 1,000 space bucks that he doesn't know what to do with, so he will gladly come along. All right, so who's going where? Remind me.
I'm busking. You want a performance check?
All right, where are you? Are you just on the street? Like what's?
Well, probably someplace close to where like the ship is. Like walk with Etsley part of the way back, so that when she leaves again, she can meet up with me, and yeah, just be there, kind of like on a main thoroughfare. Pick a corner and just take out my.
Pick a corner. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right, so you have to do a little bit more.
Oh,
So if you so here's the thing: if you walk with Etsley, you're walking back towards the docks, which is where like people are working. This isn't. There are no corners. This is just a big old port with
All right.
machines going around. So if you want to go find like a street corner in the city at the turn
Yeah.
around and go the opposite direction.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go where the people are because that's where the money is, in their pockets.
Okay. So as you turn you let Etsley kind of go do her thing. Like you do you. I'm gonna go.
Etsley,
do
Horatio, and Claire.
Essie, Horatio, and Claire are gonna go do their thing. So you get to see the city at its finest. For the most part, the first thing that you notice is doors are shorter, windows are lower, everything's smaller. That doesn't mean that there's only gnomes here, but easily the vast majority of people that you see here are gnomes. The next thing that you notice is that you've seen well, you weren't there, but when you were when Shavaris, at least what's in like Flinton, those gnomes were very even though they had like a lot of cool magic-y things happening around them, it was still kind of like the gnomes didn't look all that different than like gnomes should. Like they wore normal clothes, they kind of work clothes or fancy clothes, but not much. Here, everyone looks super funky. The hairstyles they cover the whole spectrum. You see people with spiked up hair, you see people with long hair, you see people with have their head shaved off. You see every color in the rainbow and hairstyle. The jewelry is doesn't look expensive, but there's a lot of it. There's a lot of metal everywhere. People have earrings. As like the earrings as like the most basic thing that people have is they'll have like multiple earrings on their ears, piercings on their face, nose, all that jazz. And as you keep noticing, you start to see that some of the things that people have done to their body besides piercing is that people are like they have one eye and then what looks like a monocle on the other eye, but the monocle is like implanted into their face. You see people with mechanical arms. You see people with things in their ears that Preet can only guess what they do. You see people walking around like, or not walking around, sitting on like what appear to be like four-legged robot creatures that are walking for them. It's a spectacle of nobody looks the same. Everyone is trying to look different than everyone else in just the most wild and eccentric ways possible.
They're not like
Groovy.
other girls.
They're not like other girls, and they're not like even the other girls in this place.
Yeah.
They are very much so trying not to look like each other.
Cool. Well, I'm sure I don't look like anyone.
Yup. Other than that, you find yourself a nice little corner that's fairly busy around shops and stuff. So you can sit here and roll a performance if you
Okay.
like with your
Oh.
Bandalore.
Guess not really their thing, not their jam.
Oh, I missed that roll. Where is it? What did you do, Edge? There we go. I'm gonna blame Edge. Okay. So you take out you know all your bard songs.
Mm-hmm.
And you start with like your always hitters, like the songs that you know, like always get people riled up. You're like, yeah, this is it. People are like, people look at you as you start playing, like you're a complete and utter freak. Like, the hell is that noise? At first you just get looks. A few people kind of throw you a few space pennies at you. Definitely nothing worth counting. Like you really don't. After a while you start getting hecklers, like people like tone it down. Is that even music? What even is that? And you see a couple of Normish women come by. He's like, is he singing? Who sings anymore? That's so passe. Singing? Oh, don't they know? Oh, that's I feel so bad for them. And then they just walk away. And finally, as you're sitting there, you do have what looks like two gnome police officers
Mm-hmm.
come on over to you and say, we don't really like out of towners here. Businesses have been complaining about your noise, so we're gonna ask you to just move along. If you don't mind.
That's fine. I'll move along.
All right. So yes, you have made a couple of space pennies.
Woohoo!
Damn.
Harsh crowd. Harsh crowd.
Tough crowd. All right, that takes us to Etsley, Horatio, Claire, who are going to try
Yes.
to
Get food.
Yeah.
get Felix to drink her potion thing. How are you gonna get Felix to drink her potion thing?
Edson's gonna knock on the door.
All you hear, it's you go over there and it's super quiet, and all you hear is scritching.
Oh my god.
Hey, Felix, would you like a hint about where it is?
You lied to me. You told me it was in here.
Have you really looked?
Yes.
Like I said, would you like a hint?
Fine.
Just, I have it here. Open the door.
Do me a deck save. Which you're probably going to be fine because
All of
okay.
us or
So-
her?
No, Etsy's the only one taunting Felix here. The door opens and you see this gnome thing just jump at you. You manage to grab her by her shirt as she tries to jump on you. So now you have, and you're taller than her, so you have Felix like held him by out on arm's length, like sitting there or standing there, I should say.
If you drink this potion, it will give you the location of all the hamster meat you want to eat. I got this from some space gnomes.
Roll me a deception. Ooh, Felix has a chance. Oh, almost.
She almost. Oof.
She almost. I was really hoping she would, because then that would have been.
No.
No, she's like, rips it out of your hands and just lugs it down, and then throws the empty bottle onto the floor and just shatters. And she looks around. I don't see it. But it's. And then she just falls asleep. So now you have yourself an unconscious Felix.
All right,
I'll
let's go for.
I'll
Let's get
press to
Felix
take
to-
the glass off the floor.
Now, if y'all would like to help me carry her, we can take her to a hotel.
Yes.
All
Are
right.
you on the ship with her by yourself?
No, I'm with Horatio and Claire.
Oh, okay.
I take a look into the room.
Oh, it's been absolutely destroyed. Like you ain't prestidigitation this shit out clean.
Well, I
Let's
can
go
do
to
It'll
Paris
take
and-
multiple prestidigitations.
I can do it bit by bit.
It's more like things are like broken. Like unless you have mending,
Oh,
things like she like broke furniture and ripped up bed sheets and like it's not
Oh.
just that it's dirty. It's like there's gashes of her claws and things. Like yeah.
hmm.
At least it kept her in the ship.
Well, let's head out.
Yeah.
I
Let's-
just gotta leave it.
Let's go find Preet and everyone else and find a hotel.
All right.
I told you I'd be able to get her to take it.
I'll leave like I don't know, 100 space bucks as like, hey, sorry for the room being trashed.
Sorry for the room being trashed. Okay. Cool beans. So that takes us to
I prefer my
Scrags
rooms
and
warm.
Blue. Scrags and Blue, you. What kind of things are you looking for? You said you want to go space shopping.
Interesting things that you wouldn't find in a normal town on Earth.
In a normal earthing town. Okay. So for you, probably the thing that would be the most obvious is there's a lot of gadgets. So a lot of the things that you would find on Earth, they have like a version of it in gadgety form here. So are you looking so let's start with see what you got, bud. Okay. Oh no. Oh no, my table, it's broken. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was bad. I also just killed Pasta, who was laughing way too loud in the apartment now. Okay, so you find yourself a place called the Fortress. And as you walk in through the door, there's a nice little what you think is just a nice little clink 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 as the bell rings as you walk in, which seems normal enough until you kind of look around the place. It is shelves of things whirring and swirling. You see what looks like a helmet that's got like antennas sticking out of it, and like a little what like appears to your goblin eyes like a stick that's just rotating around. You find like a little pedestal that's got a little round metal thing with like an antenna sticking out of it with a little light on it that's blinking, and as it's blinking, it's spinning around the pedestal. You find a few. You find a. What else? You do your thing. No, there you go. Oh, there we go. Haha. You find what looks like a bracelet, but instead of but it's like much thicker than a bracelet and has like little cylinders in it. The one thing that you find that you recognize almost immediately is there's like a crossbow, and it's got like a spyglass on it on the top of it, and like springs that are pulling that pull the string back. Rather than having to like crank it, it's like automatically pulling shit back. So this is just some of the things that you have here. Unless is there anything in particular that Scrags would be looking for that?
I'm just gonna find the shopkeep and ask him what's cool.
What's cool? All right, shopkeep's like, hey,
Aye.
what do you like to do? Like,
Well, normally I like to stab things or capture things and sell them for bounties or,
Okay.
you
What's your
know.
favorite kind of stabbing thing?
He pulls out his large short sword. This is my favorite stabbing thing.
What's your favorite stabbing thing?
I call it the Big Shanker.
Big Shanker. I can see why. That thing's almost as big as you.
Yeah, and then I got the little Shanker here.
Hey, buddy. I need to reach for a book. Oh, all right. I think I might have a nice big Shanker that you might like. Hi. I'm sorry. You're so squeaky, buddy. I know. I'm so
Cute.
He is so cute. He's upset at me for putting him down. But I need to look through my book. Sorry. I gotta look something up. Okay. All right. So he's got for you. Perfect. He's got for you a. You're small, so it's still a short sword, but compared to you, things hunking big. The blade is almost as white as you are, but when you pick it up, it feels light, like a short sword should be to you. The thing that you notice on it is that there's a sharp side, which you know how to use, pointy side, and then on the on the sides of it, there appear to be like what to Scrags look like gills that like it kind of opens up, and then there's another bit and it opens up and opens up. And it kind of has a nice little bluish hue to it. And he says this is a big
Micro's
stabber.
computer crashed, so he'll be a second.
Cool. This is a big stabber right here. You grab it, and he says, "You see that button there?
Yeah.
All right. When you press that button as you're swinging, it makes the whole thing just fly forward with extra strength. You hit something right with that, you're going to do extra damage.
Extra damage.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of damage?
Mechanically, 3d6. Let's go with 3 times a day.
But what kind of damage?
Slashing, because it's got.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, that's pretty good. How much you want for it? And also, what's the magical bonus?
Plus 1.
Plus 1. Oh,
Plus 1. Yeah. So it's a +1 short sword. And 3 times a day, you can make it do extra damage. And that one is. Gotta bring things up. God, I hate how. One of these days, I'm gonna sit down and make like a whole ass table about how much every item should fucking cost. I hate how they don't tell you this. 25,000 space dollars.
25.
25.
Well, that's
How
far
much
too.
do you guys
little.
have a lot?
Do we? Space
Yeah.
dollars?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
We just got 1,000.
and we
Well,
have.
no, but you guys had like 200,000 space dollars.
There's a lot.
From what?
From that
we've
was
got-
your
we got them,
allowance.
yeah.
Wait, do we have
allowance.
200,000 each?
Yes.
No,
No.
altogether.
In total.
Oh.
I have a kitty.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't even know we had
No,
a
you
kitty.
don't. I know for a fact that you have no pets.
I have you.
Got him. Damn.
Wow.
You're not wrong.
I broke our knee. Yeah,
That's
we
pretty
currently
good.
have 200,015 in the Space dollars in the kitty.
Oh,
I'll take it.
oh God. He hands it to you with an instruction manual on how to use it. He says it's got a limited lifetime warranty. As long as you as long as you don't miss, we will tell if you miss a creature and hit a wall with it, and explodes on you. But any other use damage, let us know. We'll mini back guarantee.
3 times a day, it can do what? 3d6?
3d6 extra, just slashing damage. Crit with that one day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I have to activate it before or after I hit?
It works like smites.
So after I hit.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Sweet. Actually lowers my 2 hit bonus. By 2.
By 2. No.
Yeah. So I can change that real quick.
Well, but it also increases the damage quite a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna keep both my big shanker and my. I'm gonna call it the even bigger shanker.
Even bigger shaker. Love that. Let's see. Blue is with you, so what is Blue gonna get? He wants something.
I gotta fix that.
Oh, I know what Blue's gonna ask for. While you're sitting there, Blue asks him about boots. The guy they go through boots. He mostly I have these leggings which I really like, but I'm really big about moving fast. So, well, with your leggings, I can't quite do that. Except, he has an idea. He straps on pretty much like jet engines to the side of Blue's legs.
Nice.
So Blue can move even faster than he typically can, which is already
That's something he needed.
yeah, because it's already 90 as is. So I think it's a 60. It's just his walking speed,
And you can double that.
and you can double that. So his walking speed is going up. Rocket calves. All right. So anything else anyone wants to do before we find ourselves a hotel or inn or whatever you guys are doing?
I mean, I guess I should go out and start looking for a chest, maybe, and a little model of it.
Little model of it. Yeah. Okay. There's a gold price, I think, to the model.
Oh,
It's a component, so it's not I think it's not a consumable, but it's got a price to it.
if I can fucking find the spell.
Mm-hmm.
What did it say? What was the guy's name?
Lehman's Tiny Chest. I think it's a Sanathar's.
I was trying to spell.
Lehman's? I think that's it. Lehman's Tiny Hut. The same guy who does Tiny Hut.
I was trying to spell it like Lehman.
Yeah, the same guy who does the Tiny Hut does this, and I think it's in Sanathar's. I could be wrong though. Ooh, that wind is picking up again. Wow.
Oh, okay, no. That is incredibly it has to be 500. It's 5,000 GP the big chest and 50 for the small one. Yeah, I don't have that kind of money.
Space dollars.
Yeah, but I don't know how much.
Well, Scrags just spent 25,000 of your 200,000 space dollars.
Oh, I missed that. Wait, how much?
25,000. Of your 200,000. So you probably have enough. If it's only 5,000. Woo.
Well, 5,000 gold.
Yeah, with space dollars. We're gonna translate to space dollars because you're not gonna buy anything here for gold. And that seems like a lot of work to try to. I am not gonna figure out what the translation is.
Yeah,
for
that's
gold
fine.
with space dollars. That's a lot of work.
No, I'm. That's a still a lot of money, and it's not something I'm like. I'm gonna instead like go out and spend a little of my own money on getting the supplies needed to transcribe
All right.
the spells.
Sounds good. I forget how much gold it is, but you know, so
It's
take that off.
50 per level.
Yeah, so you take that off, and you can go buy those supplies.
9 times 50, which is 450.
Okay. So you do that. Anything else anyone else wants to do before we find a hotel?
Think we're all good?
Yeah. So after you try not to wander off too much, Preet, because you don't want to wander off too much. Before you
do.
find as you're hanging around kind of near the port, you see Horatio and Claire and Edsley kind of hauling a very unconscious Felix out of the port area.
Okay.
As they are clearly trying to find a place to stay. You have kind of been around a little bit. Even if it was an unsuccessful journey, you were still around a little bit. So you have spotted a couple of hotels that you think might be good. You found the U Hotel, Zhao. They all seem to be kind of not super high end, but then again, I'm not sure you can tell what high end is because everyone's
Yeah.
just so fucking weird. That who
I
even
know.
knows what high end is?
I'll dip into a couple of them and find out if breakfast is included.
Yeah. The U Hotel has
Alright.
breakfast, complimentary breakfast.
All right, then I'll head out and I'll look around. When I finally see one of the party members, I'll connect with them telepathically and say look over here, and like to find them and give them my hotel recommendation. Like, breakfast included, good place.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take Felix over there and
As you go to check in, again, everyone's super dressed weird, but whatever. When in Rome.
I'm a woman. I'm a purple woman with scales. I don't think I really care.
Oh no, you are
I'm a
so
fucking
basic.
goldfish.
You are so basic. Scales. Oh, it's like 2 years ago. Remember when we were scares in high school? Scales.
I literally don't have any flesh. I literally look like I don't have flesh on my body, and there's a fish talking.
So,
if I'm not weird enough for them, I don't know what is.
As you walk around, you do as to Preet and Ethley's surprise. People are way more interested in the walking around bone thing.
Ethley's just gonna be amused.
And like slightly jealous on the inside because she was like, I have scales, but whatever.
No, she's more amused.
Let's see. Just because it's you, do me an insight, Horatio.
They want to eat you.
They might. To be fair. Okay, perfect. Okay, Horatio. This is weird. Like, people are being weird to you, but you don't know why. But people are like coming up to you and like asking you a bunch of questions about Trevor. Like, what kind of oil do you use with him? Like, what alloys are you using? And before you know, you have like a small crowd around you, like taking measurements of Trevor's arms and like bringing out like little they flip over little lenses on their eyes, and they're like closely inspecting him. All of them, they seem pretty friendly, but everyone's just like hanging around here, like, hey, like the aloe, like what kind of what kind of crystals are you using?
He's a piece made of a bone.
Oh no, no. That's easy.
Well, good luck, Horatio. We're gonna go get a hotel rooms.
I'll
Good luck with your groupies.
Yeah, Horatio now has groupies.
He's not a machine. I think you're thoroughly misunderstanding the situation here.
As the rest of you leave Horatio behind, you can hear him in desperation trying to explain this to a bunch of gnomes as they all surround him and try to get him to answer questions about shit that he knows nothing about because he's not a construct.
Which also doesn't make any sense. Like, the question they're asking, they know as little about necromancy as I know about their shit.
So they're asking you questions as if your thing was a construct, constantly, like what kind of springs, what kind of tension, what kind of, like, do you use crystals?
It's just people confused and him giving them an answer.
And then them being like, no, that's not how any of this works.
Don't recognize. So it's just a bunch of confused people asking each other confused questions.
Yep. So you have two people talking in two different languages at each other, thinking that they're having a conversation. Is what's happening with Horatio right now.
Nice.
So you're lost forever. Roll up a new character sheet as Horatio has now died to the mob of gnomes. But
a noble death.
Mob of gnomes. Scrags, you and Blue spot the small crowd of gnomes and see that Horatio is just kind of, because he's still taller than the rest of the gnomes, is stuck in the middle of it all, trying desperately to explain how his not robot works.
Well, that just sucks for him. I hate that. No, he likes this.
Yeah.
You can definitely see, like, Trevor's arm movements is getting like
at some point you see Trevor like holding up Horatio's fishbowl, like trying to get away. Like,
yeah, like he's getting increasingly frustrated that they don't understand him, and he just wants to get out the fuck out of there.
Yeah, he likes this.
I don't think he does.
Listen, I've known this guy longer than you have.
Wow. That is very fair.
You've known him for like...
You've known him for like an extra day long, like not even a day, like an extra like 10 minutes longer than Blue has.
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a lie.
And Blue doesn't know this, so he's okay. What works?
He loves this kind of stuff. He's a scientist or something.
All right, well, Horatio.
Yes, please, can you get these people don't understand.
Well,
very confused.
Okay. We'll leave it to your thing, but where is Pre and Netsley?
They walked. I tried to point at the.
Okay, have fun with your group.
No.
Bye.
No, I need
Bye. He loves this type of stuff. He's always going on and on about it.
You know, he did seem like he was having a lot of fun there.
Yeah, exactly. He was waving his hands in the air like he just don't care, you know? Like,
come back here.
We're gone.
Yeah, no, they left you there. You'll survive
you
this.
Get some money out of them.
I'm not sure Horatio would do that, but you probably could. Are you?
Horatio has no idea what's actually going on. He's mainly confused by this.
Look at this little. I'm sorry I have to pause, but look at this little demon.
Yeah.
Look at him. Licking and biting. No, you're a demon.
Yeah, I like the fact that you think that we're actually listening to you when you have the cat on you, and all we're doing is like looking for the little ears and the eyes.
Keep biting him.
Earlier when you were like holding with your hand, he was like following the hair.
It was so cute. It was so cute.
Like he's watching tennis.
You're funny, buddy.
So yeah, all of us are only partially paying attention to what you're saying because you have a
Yes,
cat.
because I'm a cat.
Don't you worry, R&D. I'm paying full attention. I'm
To the
immune.
cat.
To the cat.
I'm immune to these kittens and their ways.
So the rest, you two can it'll cost you like 80 space dollars each for a night. Those of you who are getting
Yep,
the hotel.
that's fine. By the way, are we going to kind of wrap it up a bit early tonight because we don't want to get too far without Felix?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Get the hotel room and then stop there.
yeah. So I
Sounds
think
about
this
right.
is a pretty good stopping point because of that. But I
Mhm.
don't. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to get
We
too far
we
ahead.
can we can subtract the money from the kitty.
How much would it be in total?
80 per times what?
80
6,
per.
7 of us now?
7, 8
What-
times 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think at this point you all just kind of have to sit down and plan on what you want to do
Correct. Definitely
to
want
take
that.
on a mind flare.
And we
colony.
also need to let Chrissy know about
That-
what happened to Felix this
Yes.
episode.
Yes. She'll be out for a day or so.
She'll be fine.
She'll be fine.
She'll be fine.
She can regrow her
I
limbs.
told you
She'll regrow her limbs.
I told you I'd be able to get her to take the potion.
Mhm.
Well then.
That was really close. She rolled like a 17.
All right. Well, then,
Even when I roll badly, I still roll good.
Mm. All right. Yeah. No, I think this is a good spot to stop. So the next time we can do some planning. I don't know if we'll be having. No, probably because we're doing planning next time. Probably not a session next week. At least not a Spelljammer session. I did say that I would have a one shot of some sort.
Well, it's probably gonna be a
Yeah,
little
'cause
late
I'll-
also.
are we going to do
I'll
the
be-
one
I'll
shot
be on
that
a
you
plane.
weren't able to do last time with the goblins or whatever?
That was my thought.
Okay, because I still have Yurg that I rolled up for
Oh.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So, okay.
yeah, that might be be what ends up
Muffin,
getting done.
you should play the goose.
You could play the goose.
I will play the goose.
Yes.
Can you photograph his sheet for me?
Can I photo? Yes. I think I have all the sheets still here. So
Yeah, I
Um,
piled them up and put them on your D&D book side
Mhm.
table.
yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
did see them here. So
Well, I'm going to.
yes, I can do all of that so that
Cool.
everybody can have what they need. But yeah, I think next week we'll have a little one shot. It'll probably just be a bunch of silly fun because that's really all we have time for.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all we got.
Right. Then all that's left to be said is goodbye from me and goodbye from the party. Say goodbye, party.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
party.
Party.
Hey, they did the bit.
Yay.